Good evening, everyone. Okay, so welcome back to the Market Pulse update for the entire week that happened last week, and also looking at what could happen in the next week. So, as on today, quickly looking at last week, it was a very interesting week as usual, and Monday was a holiday, so the market opened on Tuesday. But Tuesday it opened with a big gap up, and not just being gap up, it started going upwards and stayed upwards and did not fall. So that was, of course, an indication that the markets were looking strong. And from there, that was market open on Tuesday, and then Wednesday again it was looking positive. On Thursday came that big rally in the market, and we could see kind of market Indian stock market shooting up above 18,200. So that was looking really exciting. A lot of buying in from the FIS. No need to wonder about that, of course. They, in fact, have bought for almost 5,527 crores in the last 1 week. In spite of a big fall that happened on Friday, even on Friday, the FIIs interestingly were net buyers, whereas DIIs sold big for almost 2,000 crores. So if you look at what the DIIs did for the entire week, they've actually sold stocks worth 2,700 plus crores, which of course led to a big sell-off on Friday. We really can't blame them, because if you know, all these months when the FIIs were continuous sellers in the Indian market, the DIIs have been continuously buying in the market. Naturally, when Nifty touched 18,200, the DIs must be sitting with some real good profit. So probably they thought this was an opportunity to start booking profit. And that's exactly what happened last week. And the markets have actually kind of fallen from the high and taken support somewhere close to 18,000 right now. So if you're on the live on the video, you can actually put in the questions or anything that you have here, and I'm sure we can answer them by end of the video. So apart from that, if you look at what happened in the market, basically the fear of recession in the US continues, and because of that the oil prices have been falling down continuously. So we also had the US Federal Reserve announcing their monetary policy, and as expected they have been gone for a 0.25% rate hike, and it has actually peaked out. So there are hints that this could be the last rate hike, but then the comments that came from the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell was very hawkish. So they actually said that they don't want to increase, but they might pause it. But then one important thing is that they will continue to monitor the data coming in, and they will decide things based on the data coming in only. So that means that is not a clear clarity that the Federal Reserve is going to reduce the interest rate or pausing the rate. But however, analysts are expecting that even if the rate hike passes in the US, the what will happen is the reduction of rates will not happen in this year. Yes, so for US, the financial year is from January to December. So this financial year, analysts are not expecting any rate cuts in the US. So probably they are expecting it only on the first quarter of the next year. So that was kind of giving some more fears, as the data which has started coming in the US is not great, because people have started losing jobs. A lot of companies have announced job cuts. Not only that, even if you look at the GDP has been reducing. So that is kind of that is the inflation adjusted GDP has been reducing. So that itself is not a great sign. So a lot of people actually fear recession in the US, and because of that, naturally the oil prices have been falling down. Now, something interesting in this kind of situation is that oil prices going down is a very good thing for India. Indian bank results have come out really good, whereas US had problems with the next bank collapsing. So First Republic Bank collapsed. We spoke about it last week, and after that, immediately JP Morgan came into picture, and they kind of took over the bank. So right now, US is facing a lot of trouble with banks. US banks are seeing such high interest, which is like more than double of their regular interest rates. So all these things are kind of putting US banks into trouble, but then Indian banks were doing really well. And if you look at Bank Nifty, it has been on a continuous rise for the past few weeks. So that way, comparing, India is looking better. Second thing, crude oil prices going down is very good for India. And third thing, the results that have come out in the past, till now, if at least what was results you see most of them have been good except for IT sector. So that is again a good strength for India, and probably this is what is attracting. If you see PMI, the service PMI data which has come last week. Service PMI stands for Purchase Managers Index for service sector, right? Has actually been. It shows that the service sector has actually been growing continuously month on month in India, which is again amazing. So overall, we see that India is looking stronger in this position. At this point of time, what happened on Friday is nothing but a big announcement which came in just before the market opened, wherein MCSI said that they would be considering the merge in entities. That is HDFC and HDFC Bank that is merging. So their evaluation would be done only at a 0.5 scale, whereas it used to be regularly at a scale of 1. Now that immediately saw that effect on the market. We could see HDFC Twins opening with a gap down at almost 5%. Naturally, Indian stock market also opened gap down on Friday, and from there a heavy selling, and that is what ended the week. So after all this, let us look at a quick look at some stock specific news before we go to talk about the next week. So this is how the last week was. So really jittery in the last moment, but then things are kind of not that bad as well. So if you look at a few stock specific news, the first thing that I'm really happy and proud to talk about is ITC. So ITC has been doing really well. It has been hitting brand new records every day, and not only that, along with that, L&T is yet another stock which has been giving out real good movements. So now, see, most of the Nifty 50 stocks have actually given out their results. Few major, I would say, last week we had SDFC results. So if you see, the SDFC results came during the market hours on Thursday, and they were good, better than expected, and we could see SDFC actually rallying up. In fact, SDFC Twins, both of them hit close to their 52-week high, but from there the next day the fall came on. If you look at the next important part, if you look at stocks like Tata Steel, Varun Beverages, Titan, all these stocks actually gave out good results. But of course, the surprise in the last week was the result from Adani Enterprises, which shows a 2x, profitable quarter, which is something really surprising. So of course, I don't want to comment on that, but yes, that's of course surprising. Apart from that, if you look at Britannia came out with good results, we could also see Paytm in news. So all those Paytm holders, if you're still holding it, I would say it's like, Paytm has narrowed down its losses. So that's a great sign and a big number, in fact. And, as per the commentary that is coming from management, they are looking at being cash flow positive also in the next quarter. That if it happens, of course, this could be probably after such a fall, probably a good time to buy, I would say. I mean, again, it's not a recommendation, but this is something I am looking at buying probably as the market, is kind of settling down. So Paytm, as a company, their revenues have also been going great. So it is in my radar, but, I'm still not finalized on buying it, but it is looking interesting, of course. So if that happens, of course, I will be conveying it in the community of MPI Invest. So apart from that, if you look at Coal India results have come, and they were not that great. In fact, it's lower than the market expectation. But then, we might see some small hiccup in the market tomorrow about Coal India. But I would say that's not something to worry about because, generally what happens in the power industries, if you look at India as a country, we are a lot dependent on thermal energy. So thermal electricity generation. So that happens from, of course, coal. So right now, if you see as the rains have started setting in, there are chances that the hydro electricity is kind of increasing, and that is kind of taking a small effect on this. But then it is time that soon it will start recovering, is what I feel, and energy requirement in India is only going on the rise. So that way, Coal India still looks good for now, is what I feel. Apart from that, another favorite stock which I'm really happy about is Indian Hotels. So they have come out with really good results, and already they are close to its 52-week high. And of course, I've got some decent holding there that is actually giving some good profits there. So these were some stock-specific news for last week. Now let us go and discuss about the next week. Now coming to next week, the most important thing that we could actually look at is after this huge sell-off because of HDFC Twins, will the market recover from here or will it break down from here? Now, 18,000 is a very important level to watch. If 18,000 is broken on the downside, there are chances the market can actually fall and settle around 17,800. So that is a very important level to watch. Now, if 18,000 is able to sustain above 18,000, then it's a good thing. But again, until at least 18,100 is crossed on the higher side, I would say the stock market is going to see some sideways movement, is what I'm expecting kind of right now. So apart from that, if you look at the important events that's coming up next week, we have the CPI data coming on Thursday. We have the US CPI data coming. Sorry, it's on Wednesday. Wednesday or Thursday. 10th is, yes, Wednesday, sorry. So on Wednesday, we have the US CPI data coming. And on Friday, we have India CPI data coming. So these are two things that could keep the stock market on hold. Apart from that, the next important update that you need to wait for is the elections in Karnataka. So that's also happening on 10th, Wednesday. Now, with all these important data coming on Wednesday, actually, as the polling ends on Wednesday in Karnataka, there are also news about exit polls and all that stuff that would start coming in the evening, and that effect can be actually seen on Thursday. So that means Wednesday is kind of okay, but Thursday is going to be really volatile. So markets on Thursday can be kind of little dangerous. So probably I would be looking at reducing the positions by Wednesday. That is first thing. Second thing is the Karnataka election results. I think would come by around the weekends. Accounting happens on Saturday. So that way, again, holding some positions on the weekend could be dangerous because we never know how the results could come out, and market can take a turn, any kind of turn on Monday. So that means this weekend we will be going slightly lighter on the market in terms of trading. But as long as you're an investor, I've already given you news regarding stocks, and a few things to be watching out for stock related news this week is of course some important results coming up this week. So the first thing is, of course, VIP Industries. Industries is coming out with the results. I'm not talking about all the stocks, but I'm talking about stocks that we have in our portfolio. Similarly, we have L&T, Asian Paints, Zensa Tech, and Tata Motors, among other stocks, which are kind of coming out with the results this week. So I would be watching these stocks, how they come out with. I am expecting good results with all of them. So let us see how things take a turn there. Apart from that, a good thing is, of course, one more holding in our stock, which is Oracle OFSS, is kind of announced an amazing dividend, which is 225 rupees per stock, and the ex date is set as 9th, that is day after tomorrow. So those who have your stocks in OFSS, be happy about it. You're going to get about 5 to 6% return in terms of just dividend if you're holding it right now. So I'm holding it with some good profit of almost 18 to 20%. Along with that, if I get about 6%, it should be a real good deal for me. So of course, I'm really happy about it. So apart from that, if you look at one important news that actually came across recently is that India's import of oil from OPEC countries have actually reduced in this quarter. So that sounds good because this could kind of take a balance of US dollar to INR, because the payments are not happening in USD to Russia. Yeah, of course. So how did it come down? There's nothing but they've started buying more. In fact, the buying from Russia has actually peaked in the last quarter. So that is kind of looking good. I would say that would kind of add some more USD reserves in India, which could actually start appreciating INR in India. So that is again a good thing in general for as a country. But then again, this is a slight negative news for the IT sector because they get their payments in USD. So such companies which has got more exposure to exports, which get their payments in USD, this could be a slightly negative news. But overall, as an economy and as a country, I would say this is a great news, as we could expect INR to be appreciating better. So that's a great thing for now. So apart from that, if you look at this week, like I said, the weekend is going to be slightly free as we are going to kind of reduce our positions in trading. But for members who are investors, I would say it's a good dip that has come in the market. I would kind of go on again a SIP mode of investment at this point of time. If you remember what I spoke on the Friday podcast, we had discussed here that this will be a good time to book some profits. If you have done that on Friday morning, I'm sure you would be having some cash, and it is time to invest them in SIP mode right now because again, this is not the end of rise. Indian market has still a lot to rise. It is just these few hiccups that is coming up is actually an opportunity to invest. So this is what I have to kind of wrap up this week. So I think I've covered well enough about last week, about this week. And if you have any questions, of course, you can post it in the comment section, and I will be answering it in the next podcast that is live on the same channel tomorrow. So we'll discuss with more details tomorrow morning. Let's see how the market turns. In fact, of course, with the US, okay, I forgot to tell you one important thing. That is, on Friday after Indian markets closed, the US markets have actually rallied big. Even the European markets, of course, still they've closed in red for the week, but that big rally is, of course, indicating a gap up opening in India tomorrow. So we might see a gap up opening tomorrow, but then let us see if the gap up is able to sustain. But any big gap up at this point of time is something which I'm not kind of very happy about, because a big gap up at this kind of time can actually trigger some selling. So 18,000 is a level to watch. Let's see how the market reacts. If 18,000 is broken on the downside, I have a few trades which will actually require some takeover of. So that is something which is happening for this week. That's it for now. So if you have any questions, do put it in the comment section, and do press the like button if you love the content that we share. That of course motivates us. And if you've still not subscribed to our channel, do subscribe. Of course, you will get a lot of updates as we go. Goodbye. Have a great week ahead.